too is like even like even when people don't realize that performers, even when they're sick, unless you're like bedridden, you still do your show. You still go
Yeah.
out. You just
Yeah.
take massive amounts of Benadryl or whatever when you're on the road.
I did one. Well, I did one show once in Bristol, in England, and I was properly ill, and so we had a bucket at the side of the stage, and I would do it. I would get through as many songs as I could, run off, be sick, back on again, giving it all that. So you just kind of just keep going, don't you?
Yeah. And that's the greatest thing. People like I had the first time I ever got really, really sick when I was on the road. It was like God, it must have been like 4 years ago. It was when there was like a really bad flu, when it was like whatever the one that was like killing 19-year-old bodybuilders, like that one.
Right.
So I'm on the road and I'm driving to Michigan, and like a blizzard hits. It was like the worst combination of everything that could possibly happen.
Yeah.
And I wound up feeling like I had a bit of a cold, and it turned into like this raging flu. And when I got to the place I was staying, the people were like, "You don't look good." And I was like, "I'm fine." And then I literally wound up in the hospital like that day before my show was at night. And the people that were there were like, I kept telling them, I'm like, as soon as I get out, I got a show at 8. And then they were like, "You have 102 degree fever." I'm like, I know, but you got to get me out of here by whatever. And I went and did 4 shows, but it was the same thing where like on stage, I was fine. The minute I got off, I was like shivering with a cup of tea, didn't want anybody near me.
Yeah.
And I felt so bad because I don't know, do you still meet people like after the show, like some of the audience and stuff like that? Or because comedy, you kind of have to see people.
Not so much after it now, but before. We have a meet and greets for 2 hours before each gig. That's easier for me. After it, I'm worn out. I don't.
Yeah. That's a smart thing to do beforehand, and not because like afterward, people still wanted to come up, and I was like, for the love of God, please just stay away from me. I would like say that at the end of the set, like I'm really sick. But it's just
do a little bit. You do a little bit back in the dressing room, whatever. But I used to go out to the bus. Then I'd often be out the bus maybe a couple of hours or so after the show, just signing everything for everybody. Nice. And that just got a bit much, really. Do you know what I mean? Like,
totally.
1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, and it'd be raining. It was just not the best thing to do. So I stopped that and moved it to pre-show, which works a lot better.
Dystopia tonight.